brother. Yeah, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, sheepa, brother.
GM and welcome back to the channel for this an August altcoin update. So looking ahead for this next month and seeing what is on the horizon and potentially some plays here. And I'm going to give you one of my trades I've got open right now as well. So if you appreciate all of that, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and also drop me a comment down below. Let's jump in. So for starters here, we have Bitcoin and a bit of a swing failure pattern here. You can see this line I've drawn in around 29,000. That level was breached. That was on the 1st of August. As you can see, a big wick to the downside, but it has been bought up and we had a bit of a continuation higher up to almost 30k there, but we're now back down to 29.5 roughly. So this could be a key bear trap in the making here, and this could see us actually push up quite a bit higher. But as it stands, we're kind of in no man's land here. 29.5 was a pivot point from Eric Crown earlier in the day today, suggestive that we need to hold that level for this to be bullish potentially here. So Bitcoin swing failure pattern. Let's move on to this, the altcoin market cap, as this is an altcoin based video. As you can see from the blue line here, this is the area we have double bottom from. So this is around a $300 billion market cap for the altcoins. And so your downside, in my opinion, is limited there, as I do believe the bottom is well and truly in, and the altcoins are going to be the ones, the real laggards here, to actually catch up to the wider markets. Think the stocks, tech, etc. And Bitcoin is up a lot compared to many of the altcoins, with Bitcoin dominance decently high at this moment in time. So what are we seeing here? From the current situation, we're around 15% from the bottom there, and also to get to all-time highs somewhere in the year, probably 2024, late into early 2025, somewhere in the region of around a 200% gain straight from here to push to that level. We should breach that as we have done in previous cycles. And you can see a pretty much textbook of the previous cycle's all-time high being the low for this cycle. So as we should go up again, if this does play out, we would eventually come and retrace to around the 1 trillion mark in the next bear market. So some hugely depreciated alts in the market, some 10s, 20s, 50x's are on the table here in the coming months. As ever, if you've got your eyes peeled, there's always going to be some major plays and a bull market happening somewhere in the alt space, as people have lots of money on chain and they're more than willing to gamble. So first sector here we're looking at, so rather than a specific coin, we're looking at a sector and Unibot here with the trading bots, the new alpha in the market, that meta. I think this one is going to have another leg up here. There's a few updates that really caught my eye. We have this, so two parts here. The eligibility of the rev share for holders has been reduced from 50 Unibot holding. So say at a price of roughly $100 per token, that is 5 grand's worth of token you need to hold. This means a lot of smaller players are priced out, but reducing that to 10 means $1,000. A lot more people can get in with that entry point. So I do think this will see a bigger uptick in the holder base here for Unibot. And also they have an auto compounding function for their rev share, and the withdrawal of this has been reduced from 5 down to 1 as well. So this will mean more auto compounding quicker for many accounts as well. So that is also bullish, as that will see more buy pressure on the token. Unibot X is also going to be released this month. It's currently in closed beta. I think they've got like 300 participants testing it out, and they've integrated with the CoinGecko terminal. So your Telegram will link to a web page where you will have all your wallets connected, so you can do your trading from this. You will have all the market data, all the trades going through, your full transaction history. You can see your P&L, your snipes, all this good stuff, all within this one interface. So this really is going to be the future of trading. And as soon as this comes out in this month, I'll make sure I'm using it and showing you guys how to do so in a video tutorial. So this is bullish for this category overall. Unibot 122 today, you can see it had retraced from the highs and started to put in what seems to be a bit of a bottom at around $100. Now, the other one I am very bullish on is YOLO NOLO with their perps trading in Discord, now live, and also the staking contract as well. It's roughly $1.60 at this moment in time. This doesn't take into consideration the full price history, as it started sub $1. But if we just go into the updates here, so this is a video showing you how the perps actually works. So in this one, the guy actually does a short on ETH and then a long on Solana. As you can see, this is the interface. If you go short, it gives you this weird guy like saying sell, And then if you go long, you have the whale pumping out of the water there. So interface looks sleek. This one is being tested out on a few Discords right now. And as soon as I can get my hands on it again, would like to cover this one with a tutorial as well. I think this is also groundbreaking stuff. So spot for Unibot, perps over at YOLO NOLO. And they've also got single-sided staking and LP staking now live on their interface. So you can start to stake your tokens for network value accrual. So that revenue share to the stakers and to the LPs is now live on the interface there. So over at yolofornolo.xyz. So overall, there's some cool updates in this new meta. And I think it's something we should all be having our eyes on and watching for the updates in this sector and getting used to using these functions, as they will be a game changer in this industry. And potentially this sees people move away from perps dexes and spot dexes and using these social tools instead. Now, next area of focus is the base chain and the whole Optimism superchain more broadly. So Optimism here looks very bullish. This is the 90-day chart for it. And we know that the base chain has the DevNet open right now with a lot of rugs and issues, but the mainnet is due to launch in August. That is what the documentation says. Early August, the public chain will go live. So we're waiting for the green light from Brian and co. And Optimism just keeps on pumping up. It is the governance token for the whole of the Optimism superchain. So if you want governance voting rights over on Base, OP is the token for that. We know they've got big backers, Coinbase, Binance and others, and so they are likely going to be accumulating OP for governance rights. So although we have a large discrepancy between the market cap and the FDV, there's been quite a few large unlocks for OP recently, but looking at the charts, it's pretty hard to pick them out there. It looks like any normal chart just chatting up and to the right. Even with the huge unlocks, price has been unfazed. That is a major signal in the market, in my opinion. So here we have the base chain, a very dire situation with the Elite Swap LPs being hacked. They are in the process of recovering funds, but at this moment in time, as you can see from the right hand side, all these charts are flat because none of them are actually trading. Hilarious stuff, quite annoying as well. But what we're waiting for is the public launch and some genuine good teams to launch on here. Aerodrome, the Velo fork or Velo sister over on Base chain will be coming, and that will be a legit exchange that all of these guys will no doubt have to put their LP into, and that will be the trading home for all of these tokens. So again, likely to happen in this August. And if we just think about sentiment here, this was a good one from Ansem. Someone said Elite Swap got exploited, we are cooked. This coming after Bold exploit, now Elite Swap exploit, two major huge pieces of bad news. But he says, look, a lot of people said this already, but it's similar to Arbitrum when it first launched, and there was that weird Nyan token. I think Base will be fine. There will be other dexes that are solid and come. And Rhino replied, CT keeps forgetting that CT has a short memory, which is very true indeed. All we need is a couple winners on here and some legit projects launching, and the Base hype train will pick up yet again. So eyes peeled, when there's max FUD and doom around anything, that's probably when the biggest opportunities will present themselves. Then last but not least here, we have the fan tokens. Think the Socios app and others. Specifically here, a lot of these are football fan tokens. So if you're into your footy and you realize the European football season is starting up again quite soon here in the month of August, then you will know that there's probably likely going to be some nice pumps for many of these coins. Makes a lot of sense. So I did actually put a thread together, quite tongue-in-cheek here, to be honest with you, saying, look, this is the one that I'm playing here. So this is an active trade for me. I did a video on this during last month, about mid-July, saying, look, fan tokens are something to play in the summer. And so this is what's happening here. So Lazio fan token is the one that I've bought. It's on Binance. So I said this, footy fans are even more redacted than crypto fans. Think about how tribal football fans are, similar to like people who are in the XRP army, etc. Except in football, people will skip their jobs to go to a cup final. They'll happily get sacked. I've been lucky enough to attend football away days where blokes have literally been there and quitting their jobs, telling their bosses to go F themselves. They're watching the football. They don't care. And likewise, people are well and truly up for a fight with others not wearing the same team kit as them. So can you think of a more emotionally charged set of users for the fan tokens? I personally can't. And Italian fans are notoriously on that far end of the spectrum. So footy season ends And what happens is the fan tokens start to fall off a cliff. What I think happens is the market makers start dumping their inventory as they know no one's going to care for these things over the next month or so. The bottom is in then as the preseason for the football starts to take place around July to mid-July. Then here the month of August comes around and the market makers start to pick up the tokens yet again, and people slowly but surely during this month will get interested in football once more. So other summer sports take precedent, but Premier League starts in 2 weeks time on Saturday, and then the Italian Serie A the week later. So mid to late August football season comes full swing here in Europe. So what I've seen and what I believe happens is that as the games return, there's actual use for the fan tokens yet again. The marketing teams at these clubs will have utility for the tokens, i.e. select your favorite player, come and get signed autographs, come to the box, meet the manager, that kind of stuff. And so what happens is the number go burr into the start of the season, and this is where you can dump your tokens on their heads. So as an explainer here, this is the Lazio token over the last football season and into the start of this one. So what happens is end of April into May, the season ends, and as you can see, there's a big dump off. There's then a secondary dump here in the month of June, and literally nothing is happening in this period. It is prior to the preseason, and the bottom comes in, and you can see a slow but steady accumulation here. And then we come to the end of July, start of August, starts to get repriced, and then repriced quite heavily into the start of the season. So this is towards the end of August, first week of September, when everything's going great guns in the football leagues. Teams are back, fans are enthusiastic yet again, and there's reasons to actually hold the tokens. The utilities will be present. So in my mind, this is where we are in this current market cycle. We've just had the June low come in and a slow and steady accumulation in July during preseason, and now August has started. We've got the first little markup here, and I'm expecting this one to continue to pump over the rest of this month, something like that. Maybe 3 big pushes to the upside. So that is the thesis for the Footy fan tokens in the month of August. Think when we have NFL team tokens come live at some point in the future, you know that Chili's will be working on that. I'm sure there will be a very similar playbook to have as we see the tokenization of absolutely everything coming to blockchain. So think seasonality meets utility around a sport. I think this is a good recipe. We'll catch up on this one at the end of the month, and we'll see if I take a big W or a big fat L. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Of course, none of this is financial advice, just showing you what I'm looking at in this market in the month of August. Let me know, what do you think down below in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.